The movie called Batman, Son of Batman. Movie, Son of Batman. I don't know what, I was about to say Batman Son, but that's the comic it's based off of. Alright, it's a direct-to-video movie, Son of Batman. And I have a script here, and I might fucking just go off. But it was released part of, the DC Animated Universe. It's a direct sequel to Flashpoint Paradox and Justice League War. Flashpoint destroyed everything in the past. It created the New 52 timeline, or the New 52 universe. And that's where Justice League War and this movie, Son of Batman, comes in. And I enjoyed this movie thoroughly. I mean, I guess it's my favorite animated Batman film, or my favorite Batman film in general. But it's pretty up there. It's really good, really interesting. It had some really good direction, I guess, what I'd say. Its tone is darker than Justice League War, a little bit more, because Justice League War wasn't too bloody compared to this movie. And I don't know what to say about it. It's just really awesome. It was adapted from the Batman Son comic book from 2006. And it's just awesome, and it leaves me like, ooh, even though I know what happens in the comic, this doesn't pertain to the, like, it doesn't stay all the way original to the comic as direction and story goes. It brings a bunch of cast and a bunch of new characters. It's brought in Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul. He's in the comic, but the guy who plays him does a very good, awesome voice. He wasn't in it very long. He dies at the beginning of the movie, which I wish they would have built up to, like, when, like, Damian Wayne, like, the way he was born and the way he was trained by Raz, whatever. And I wish they would have showed a little bit more of that, and, like, why Talia, like, showed more why Talia didn't tell Bats about it. And yeah, I mean, it would have made a much more sense. A character that wasn't in the storyline, as I remember, I haven't read it in a long time, but Deathstroke. And I believe he's not in the storyline in the comic book, as I recall. Deathstroke was, it's a kind of an origin story for Deathstroke, as he was the right-hand man, or he was supposedly the successor to Ra's al Ghul until Damian Wayne came along. It's kind of like a Lion King type of thing, like I was next in line until you came along type of thing, for Deathstroke. And Deathstroke ends up killing Ra's al Ghul and trying to take over the League of Assassins, a hostile takeover of the League of Assassins, and it's just intense. It was really fun. I enjoyed Deathstroke's part in the movie. It really gives him a good introduction to it, and especially into this new New 52 DC universe is what I call it, animated universe. Animated New 52 DC universe, a whole different thing than the comics and everything else separate. And I just love it, man. It was awesome. Having Deathstroke being one of the fucking most awesome characters in DCU is awesome. And I'm glad that DC is actually working harder and rolling out these films, because right now on TV, they had Young Justice, which I loved, with Young Justice, and I loved Teen Titans, and I loved a lot of the other Batman series, but currently, I didn't like the latest Green Lantern, just because of the animation styles. Batman, Beware the Batman, I'm a big Batman fan, I mean, really, and I don't like it because the animation turns me off, and I'm pretty sure it's a different take, it's always a different take on it, but it's also, what is it, what bothers me is Alfred looks like Lex Luthor. And it's like, imagine if they had a cross point of Alfred and Lex Luthor in that show, and they're just like, huh, we look the same. But anyway, this is really good. The storyline's really good. That voice acting is actually pretty par for the most part, in my opinion. It really none of them really disappoints me. The kid who plays Damian, which I'm not gonna. I can read it, I just don't want to. You can look it up. I'll put a link down there to, like, the movie IMDb, whatever, or the Wikipedia or something, I mean, you can trust Wikipedia all the time. But it's also on here, it's on the back somewhere. But fucking awesome. The kid does really well as Damien. He really brings out like that little kid voice, not having like an older person. Like, for example, having an older actress play. I know Tara Strong played Ash Ketchum in Pokemon, and he's 10, and I like that this is the actual little kid playing the actual kid role of him, and then, yeah, and then like James O'Mara returning as Batman, a couple other people returning as Alfred, and the guy who plays Killer Croc returning from Lego Batman and stuff like that, and really does good. And Killer Croc was awesome. He's one of the newer, well, not really new, but one of the characters I've recently got into in the DC Comics universe because he's a big badass in the fucking Arkham games. And he's just a really interesting character. And I'm glad he's actually getting some more game time or whatever, screen time in general. And I'd like to see him like as a minor character in a Batman film someday, maybe. I don't know if they. I don't think he's gonna be in the newer Batman, Ben Affleck, but you never know. And Talia al Ghul was fucking amazingly hot as a cartoon character in this one. And I like this version of Talia al Ghul than the Dark Knight Talia. I don't know. I was just like, she doesn't look that attractive. I don't know if that's just me, but the cartoon version, this Son of Batman, is really awesome, you know. And I just can't wait for the next movie to come out, which is Batman. It was not called Batman's. I think it's Arkham Assault. That's what it's called. And I'm excited for that. It comes out in August, and I'm just psyched for it. I mean, I keep buying these. I mean, I waste so much money on fucking films. Mostly DC. I have a couple more. I have some Marvel, like X-Men and stuff. But I spend more money on freaking DC movies than anything else. But I suggest if you like DC, if you like Batman, like if you like dark, or if you just like dark, gritty, bloody, fucking, you know, cartoons or just gritty action from the comic book. If you're a fan of comic book, you'll like it. If you're not a fan of comic book, you can still like it. And there's, I don't know, but the comic fans will appreciate it as much as it's not all of it's pertaining to the comic book, and that could really blow you over. But I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, so check it out. And yeah, check it out.